Hello and welcome to the Penno channel. I'm joined here with my bro, as usual, for the match reaction to Aston Villa's victory against Wolves. Aston Villa 2, Wolves 0. Before we get into this one, if you could like the stream, subscribe if you're new around here, and also drop a comment on what we discussed today and also your thoughts regarding the game, because there's a massive 3 points for Villa and much needed after the struggles we've had against Wolves of recent time. Bro, how do you feel? You had a good Easter weekend, you enjoyed. It was nice today to watch our games against our title rivals, wasn't it?
Yeah, I just finished my food, had some lamb, which was good. Villa won
Sunday,
yesterday.
Sunday.
Bro, it's been a good weekend, man. What about you? How you been?
Yeah, just enjoyed, bro. Yesterday was a great result. It was as comfortable as it could have been. I thought. We'll get into the game itself, but as a performance as a whole, it's as comfortable as it could have been because it was one of those games I was worried going into. I don't know if you felt the same way
I
regarding
actually,
that.
I actually got a different take to that, so we'll get into it on how
Yeah,
how it went. But in terms of what you're saying about the result, like to beat Wolves and not concede is pretty rare for Villa.
yeah. We've got a few people in here. We'll go through and say hello to them all. Michael's joined us. He says, "Good evening, all. Thanks for joining, Michael." Deontay's in here. Happy Easter, everyone. Thanks for joining, Deontay, as well. And happy Easter to you and your family. And Rachel says, "Evening, all. Thanks for joining, Rachel." Yeah, thanks all for joining and who's watching. We'll get into this one because, yeah, as I said, going into this game against Wolves, after getting a point against West Ham, which was a good point I thought at the time, it was good now to come back from the international break. Players have come back from their certain teams. We had a number of players out on international duty at their specific sides, starting games and even coming on. So it was good to get them back, and it was a big game now to come into. And against a side we do struggle against to get all 3 points. The record shows that. So facing them at home at Villa Park, they'd be up for it. There was, words exchanged and unpleasantries, shall we say, at Molineux at the back end of that game, which ended up being a 1-1 draw. We would nearly nick that one when Watkins hit the post with a header in the last minute. So yeah, coming into this one, Gary O'Neill and Wolves would be up for it. Obviously, they were missing a number of players as well as we were. So it was interesting to see how we were both going to line up and the shapes we were going to apply. Brian, what are your thoughts going into it regarding the lineup and the side who I selected?
Yeah, my feeling was, although that we know that it's Wolves and that we struggle, knowing they had their key players out, it was almost like we really have to win this game. The tie to me had a feel of like an FA Cup game, kind of, against like a high flying championship, like where they've got a player out, but you just distill that anxiety, like they can still nick something maybe. But I mean, if you look at their striker, that was his first ever professional game start, any league, not just Premier League. That was any league. He's never played. He's never started a game before. So I kind of felt they won't have that much of a threat on attack going into it. Our lineup, I was happy to see Diaby and Bailey play. I've had a bit of a change of heart on Diaby as poor as he has been at times on the ball. I do think he has to start for Villa just purely because of his output and his numbers. If you look at his underlying stuff, so yeah, I was happy to see that. Rodgers, pretty cool to see him starting again. And I thought the back four was spot on going into the game. Before that, Moreno during the game didn't have the best of performances. We'll get onto that, sure. But yeah, I thought Carlos being back was great because he is one of our best players on the ball. What about you?
Yeah, for me, I think that three and then either one of the left backs, I think Digne may have played his way back into the starting lineup after Moreno's performance, to be honest, which we'll get into. But yeah, I think the three on from the right side and the two centre backs is how I'd like to go and how I'd like to see us play. I think we defended really well with that lineup at times this season, and it was nice to see Carlos come back into the side. I'm a bit more assured when it's Carlos alongside Pau instead of Lenglet alongside Pau. And Lenglet's had great games, but I think he's just stronger on the left-hand side in comparison to Diego on the right and Lenglet on the right. I think Diego's just stronger in that position. So yeah, seeing Konsa, Carlos and Pau, I was happy with Moreno as well. Going into the midfield again, yeah, great to see Morgan Rogers getting another opportunity to start. I thought Tielemans dropping in and Dougie starting as well was expected. Tielemans on a high after his performance against England in midweek. I don't think I'd seen Tielemans play to that level for a while for us, where he was getting into the box and getting goals and creating as well. But yeah, again, I thought he had a very good game yesterday, which we'll get into as well. Yeah, Bailey and Diaby both starting. I think Diaby's playing himself right into form again just before the international break. Got his French call up off the back of that, and then again he showed the elements and the chance creation yesterday, and getting the goal as well, which we'll discuss. But yeah, I was happy to see Bailey and Diaby starting alongside Watkins as well. So yeah, I was happy with the lineup, bro. I thought it was very offensive. Albeit, there's no real recognised sitter within the side, but do we have one available? That's the big question. I don't think we do, to be honest. I don't think Timmy Boonan's that type of player either. Dougie obviously played there for a number of years, but he's not really the sitter. He's the more advanced player out of the 2 8s when we play in that position, or the 2 6s, if we say, with Kamara usually. But yeah, I was happy with it. And yeah, let's just see what we were producing. I was just excited to get into the game. Apprehensive, but excited for sure. Yeah, anything else you want to bring up on the lineups, bro, or going in? Because yeah, as you stated, Wolves, they had Mario Lemina operating off the left. As you said, the striker was playing his first competitive game. Pablo Sarabia was playing as well. More recognised back three. Obviously, Craig Dawson wasn't there as well, and he usually turns up against Villa. But Nelson Semedo was available. Max Killerman, Totti. I think Bueno started as well. They have two Buenos, but the one who plays centre back, Bueno as well. And yeah, they had the recognised team apart from in the offensive positions, which they did lack at times. Obviously, Ait Laurie as well playing. So yeah, going into it, bro. Thoughts on how the first openings of the game went? And yeah, I was unfortunate. I wasn't able to attend the game yesterday. My bro was there. So I'll give my perspective from watching at home. From viewing it at home and not being encapsulated in the atmosphere at the game and with the crowd, and not experiencing that, it felt like the first 20-25 minutes Wolves were the more dominant side with the ball. They controlled the play and the tempo of the game much better than we did in the initial stages, for sure. Nelson Semedo was getting into a lot of good areas. Pablo Sarabia was also making runs through in the spaces, and João Gomez was playing some decent through balls as well. The line was a bit off. Powell was playing a bit deeper at times. And because Moreno and Rodgers were pushing so high, it was leaving space, especially on our left-hand side and on their right, where they were getting in behind us and getting into dangerous areas where, if they were a bit more, if the crosses and the delivery was a bit more accurate and had a bit more purpose, they could have got into very dangerous positions. But yeah, they kept the ball much better than we did. We were struggling to really get a foothold in the first 15-20 for sure. And they had the big chance in that time space, the Ryan Ait-Nouri chance, which was a massive, massive chance and a massive save from again the best keeper in the world, who's again there'll be one a game where he'll make a huge save from a high chance, high XG, as Gary O'Neill would like to discuss at the end of the game, which we can also get onto. But yeah, massive, massive chance, and he's just spread himself. Really didn't really know too much about it, and Ait-Nouri's hit it straight at him. He should really be scoring, and it's a fantastic save, phenomenal to get himself out. Schmeichel-esque, you'd say, and spread his body just to make himself big. But yeah, that was my thoughts from watching here regarding the first 15 to 20 before we then started to play ourselves into the game. What were your thoughts watching that?
Yeah, I pretty much agree with everything you said. All I add is really, I thought Tommy Doyle was really impressive. His long balls out to either wing were hurting us a lot, especially down our left-hand side. Moreno and Rodgers off the ball were struggling a little bit. Semedo was getting a lot of joy attacking our box. I think I remember one time he cut inside, and I think he done Rodgers, and he got into the box and a better ball in, and they would have had a bigger chance. Honestly, if I was a Wolves fan, I would have been really proud of that first half an hour, because the team they put out, we really should have been controlling Wolves a lot better than we did. They were getting a lot more joy than I expected. And as you said, man, as good as Emmy is, and as much as we want to applaud the save and that, defensively you can't really be giving up those type of chances, because if he scores that, then the complexion of the game probably changes a little bit. In terms of how we played. See, Moreno, I think he had a poor game, but I thought the positions he was getting into were promising, and for some reason it was a lack of composure and quality in the final third, because he was getting into good positions where if he just cuts it back to Diaby, cuts it back to Luis on the edge, then we have a chance to score. But he was overhitting the ball. He was playing dink passes to the back. I don't know what was going on. Complete different person to who we saw last season at the moment. Whether that's confidence, whether that's a lesser.
Yeah, I was just going to say his defensive positioning. I thought with him playing alongside Pal, obviously they're both Spanish. Like the communication would be, it'd be easy to communicate. They both speak Spanish communication. They can talk to each other fluently. But sometimes he's just positioning. He gets caught out in the wrong areas. It happened quite a few times within the initial stages of the game, and it was worrying at the time because we have seen down the left hand side with Rodgers. Defensively, he's not there just yet. He's not there in his understanding how to position himself. So when Moreno's out of position as well, there was so much space for Semedo and Sarabia. And fortunately, we managed to really start getting ourselves into the game because he only looked one way at the time, for sure. And I think a big part of that for us starting to get into the game was Morgan Rodgers' progressive carrying. There's about 2 or 3 times where he got on the ball in defensive areas and just carried the ball forward and really started to show his authority within the game, carrying the ball past 3-4 players. There was a time where I think there should have been 2 bookings. I know Aït-Nouri should have been booked as well. One of their players was booked, and Aït-Nouri should have been booked as well because we were both dragging his shirt and pulling him back within that phase of play. So yeah, Morgan Rodgers was the one who started to push us forward with the ball at our feet. And then we started to relax and playing as our style and our tempo.
I don't understand how that's not a yellow card. I've never seen the whole end collectively be that angry at a referee in that moment.
It was mad. It was mad. Yeah.
It's bullshit. Like, just because it's 2 different players in the same, they're both yellow card fouls. And Rain Aït-Nouri's just got away with that. No, tried to rip man's shirt off. Like, it's crazy. It's crazy. But Rodgers, I would say he needs to learn to release the ball quicker in those moments. But in terms of the actual skills that he was doing, they are really impressive. Quick footwork, strength, creating separation, and promising to see. We highlighted it against West Ham. He's going to drop deep, and against Ajax as well at home. He's going to drop deep. He's going to turn straight away, and he's there to carry us up the pitch centrally. I noticed his average position on the pitch is actually quite deep. He's actually playing as like a centre midfielder as an average position. But it's those little areas, those little pockets to help get us up the pitch. That's his role at the moment.
Yeah, and I think, it does kind of go into like a 3-5 because he comes inside and we let Moreno go out wide. We do kind of go into a 3-5-2 shape at times.
For the first half, Douglas was higher than Rodgers' average position.
We've got a comment from AVFC latest. Thanks for joining. He said, he dropped deeper than Dougie, which is fact. He did drop deeper than Louise at times to receive the ball.
Big up AVFC latest as well, man. Very, very cool guy. I follow his stuff on Instagram, so yeah, big up latest.
Big up. Thanks for joining latest. We're just going to a few more comments before we crack on. Kevin Jeans, thanks for joining. He says plenty of salty Wolves comments from their after-match reviews, better side, etc., etc. Is it expected? What do you expect? It's going to happen. I think the other way around as well would be the same. There'd be fans that are like that. So, yeah, expected for sure. But thanks for joining, Kevin. AVFC, like he says, lads, Champions League football. It's getting closer.
Yes, sir.
It's getting closer. I'm still keeping on the Unai game week 33, 34 time for real talk. But yeah, I have to say, a few weeks ago, my expectations did drop a bit because of the injuries concerns, and especially the McGinn suspension at the time. I was just like, I don't know how we'd really cope within the middle of the park because just the loss of legs and, within our structure, McGinn's really combative at winning the ball back, and with Kamara already out, but we've gone and got 4 points from the last 2 games, so we're flying. We are flying still. And Marco said, I think he's still finding his feet after the injury. I think that's in regard to Moreno. Yeah, for sure. But he was sloppy at times yesterday. I think he stood out really yesterday, to be fair, in my opinion. I don't know if that was the same at the game. But
no, he was getting heckled. I'll be real. He was getting booed. Yeah, he was getting booed at times.
Marco says,
what's the... for him?
Yeah, he did feel like that at times within the game. Rogers said, Michael says Rogers still a little short of the pace of the Prem, but you can see his performance is getting better and better. Yeah, yeah, he'll acclimatise soon, and with the guidance of Emery, I think he'll just develop and get better and better. And ABFC like says, yeah, 5-star moves from the man. Yeah, I think that's in regard to Rogers.
Just even go through Rodgers' stats. He touched the ball 22 times. You'd like him to get on the ball more. He only played 7 passes, so he wasn't really that involved on the ball. But if you look at his dribbles, 5 out of 5 dribbles completed. I think he was with Rodgers yesterday. It was more when he had his moment, he was making a memorable impact on the game. So that's why I think fans talk to him a little bit.
No,
Despite
for me watching it here, he was crucial in the times to break up there towards his momentum, just to get us up the pitch. A la,
yeah,
he shall not be named, as in driving the ball up the pitch and winning a foul, or
Man said he shall not be named. Right,
or getting a free kick.
We're gonna have to name it on the podcast. You know he started.
Facts. But yeah, that's how he applied himself. He was just getting us up the pitch, winning us fouls, breaking up Wolves' momentum, and then we started to play into the game. I thought it was a crucial point within the game. We'll talk about the first chance. Really nice football. Yuri Tillemans, we've seen him play that killer pass a number of times this season now. More recently, the one against Fulham for Watkins' second. Again, he plays a lovely through ball. And Watkins, he should do better, really. Left foot, there's potential for a dink at the time. Just hits wide, and it's the first real chance we have the game. The chance comes, on the 28th minute mark. So that's the first real attempt we had. A big chance at that. But yeah, lovely play from Tillemans, wasn't it?
Yeah, the only real chance I can think before that was the Watkins offside, where he just went a bit too early and Douglas scored. He got ruled out, but that was decent movement as well. But Watkins has got to slow his run down a bit for that. It was a good finish by Dougie, to be fair, on the bounce, but that was unlucky. But yeah, this Watkins, you'd like a bit more, maybe hit it on the right foot, like try and finesse it. I don't know. From when I saw it at the game, it looked like he could have used his right foot and just cut inside instead of going across. But you weren't really convinced, I can't lie. No one was really that convinced around us. But yeah, Tillemans was really good. I thought Tillemans was our best player. When he received from the build-up, that one time when Lamina was pressing him and he's faked it and he's come out with the ball and he's played up to Rodgers, that was so good because Wolves were pressing us high. And Tillemans is a guy where we can just pass to him and we break the press without really having to do much work. So he played really good, man. I'd like to see if you can continue the form.
He was good against West Ham as well, bro. Especially the second half. His distribution second half was top quality.
He's been the best. He's been the best CM now, back-to-back games, I'd say.
Yeah, facts. And he's getting about the pitch. His defensive work's really good as well. His fitness is right up there now. Impressed with Tillemans. Really good showing again from him. From there, another big chance, good opportunity, I would say. Pau Torres header. Just unfortunately, it was direct at Jose Sarr, but a decent header and a decent opportunity again. And we really started to grow into the game from this point. And you know how it is with us. If we get the first goal, we don't lose the game. We've only dropped 3 points really from that position.
Yeah, facts. We rarely lose. I think it's only 3 points we've dropped, isn't it, all season?
Yeah, it's United. Yeah, it's United.
Was it Tillemans that played that pass to Bailey for the cross for Pau Torres? Because I remember thinking that's a great ball. He kind of plays like a diagonal to Bailey. Plays a diagonal to Bailey. Bailey's first good.
And then
Bailey whips it in and Torres. I think it might have been. I'll give it Yuri anyway. It feels like it was Yuri. But,
or it might have been the one from the set piece, the one where Dougie runs in and Bailey to pretend that they're like clashing sort of thing. It was like
I've seen that. I've seen the action. I've seen the highlights back in it. He plays like a diagonal. Someone plays a diagonal to Bailey, controls it. He just whips it in, and Torres gets the header. He was unlucky though. That header. That was a big chance.
Yeah, it was. It was a good opportunity for sure. And then it did feel like the goal would really stepped up in the game now and really pushed on, and the goal was kind of coming in that sense. And we managed to get the goal. That guy. So now I think that's in his last 3. Well, within the month of March. 2 goals, 3 assists, Moussa Diaby. It's a fantastic strike. Just for me to get that much power on the strike and keep it on target was good. I know there's a number of bodies in the way, and potentially some may say it was a bit central to Sarr and he potentially could do better. But I think he's hit it so hard and with so much venom that there's absolutely no chance with him saving it, and the bodies in front of him haven't managed to block it either, and he's gone straight into the back of the net. But yeah, talk about the goal, bro.
I do like the goal. I like I like how we pinned Wolves back in that period. It felt like a good 30 seconds where we had them all in their box. I think Bailey's cross was initially blocked, or someone's cross was blocked. It comes back out, and Diaby's played in. And it's a great strike. It's not really going into top corner, but I think Sarr was blindsided by one of their players. And thankfully,
Yeah, it's a great shot. There's like
because,
there's defenders in front of him. There's João Gomez. I think there's Kilman as well. And he's just to hit it with that power and keep it down and get it on target. I think that's the main thing about the strike. He's hit it so hard and just kept it on target. And yeah,
it's before half time.
Really good strike.
Before half time, Wolves' confidence got knocked 100%, and after that, you kind of feel like, okay, we can breathe a little bit.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I think you have to say the first 2025 for sure, Wolves had the better spells, kept the ball better, but we did really grow into that game. And I thought from there till half time, it was just all Villa. And once we got the goal, I think from what I saw on the TV, we were just more controlled, and it felt more controlled within that. I don't know if it felt the same within the stadium.
Yeah, pretty much after that goal to the first half, it felt pretty cool. There was some just moments where I think this was before the goal, where remember Torres was in his box, and the one player you'd want to be composed blast it straight to them on the edge of the box. I don't know if you can remember that. He had time and space in our box, and he just blasted straight to him, and we invited more pressure. But I think that was before the goal. So after the goal, pretty content, man, and everyone got clapped off at half time, and I think we were happy to go in with the lead.
Yeah, for sure. Going into the second half, then it was just now can we maintain? We always say that 45 to 60 minute mark. Villa love to concede in that time period. I think we've done it the most within the Premier League. So it's great that we pretty much managed to keep a clean sheet within that period, and then ended up getting a second just after that time. But again, I felt the start of the second half, Wolves started to play themselves back into it. They had a good chance with Mario Lemina with the ball coming across. I think it was it Esri did really well to kind of fend off Lemina when he was going for, or was it Diego? Did really well to fend off Lemina when he was going for the header, so he didn't manage to generate much power on the opportunity. So it was a comfortable grab for Martinez. Sarabi had a shot as well that just went over as well. So within that period, Wolves did start to play their way into it a bit within the second half. I don't know how that felt at the game.
I'll be honest, I actually can't remember the first 15 minutes of the first half,
and
I'll tell you why. Most of us were shocked with Watkins' injury. I think that's what the concern was around the stadium. We ain't even spoke about that, but Watkins come off at half time and Duran came on, and we were just like, what's going on? It was similar to when Pau Torres went off against Forest. It's just a lot of confusion in the stadium. So yeah, we were worrying about Watkins more, and that was really the focus of the game I'd say for the first 10 minutes. Hopefully Watkins' injury isn't too bad. We've heard since that the doctors told him not to risk it. He wanted to come out and play. So hopefully it's just similar to the Ajax game where you come off as precaution and he plays the next game against City. But yeah, it's a bit worrying with Watkins now. Like, Watkins don't really get injured like that. But it's
strange because he's just had an international break, and is he overplaying potentially? I know he didn't play the second game. Well, he got 10 minutes in the second game as well. Could he really just have done with a rest, to be honest, and been ready and fit? But hopefully it's nothing minor. It's minor, and he's available for City in a few days' time. But yeah, it was a strange one on the TV. I think they were talking about potential light hamstring or trouble in his hamstring at the time, but you don't really know. There was no confirmation of anything. It was just kind of talk. So yeah, hopefully he's all right and he's available.
Wait, what? No. Emery confirmed it.
No, I'm talking about half time on the TV.
Oh right, they didn't say
at the time. Oh, no, they kind of said they didn't know what it was. They just said he was taken off. But yeah, you said that Emery's confirmed it's a light hamstring, isn't it? There's a problem in his hamstring. Yeah, hopefully it's nothing major at all, man. But we get on to the subs the initial sub that was made, John Duran coming on. And then further on to the game, before the second, Nicolo Zaniolo and obviously Luca Digne coming on as well. Duran and Zaniolo's performances, I was very, very happy with. Zaniolo especially, I thought, had a good game. Duran, his endeavour and work ethic, and two big up moments where he won the ball back with challenges or getting about the pitch and putting his leg or getting a block, which led to big chances and one leading to the goal as well. So, yeah, talk about their impacts, bro.
For me, Duran, what was standing out a bit more was he was getting his head up and he was actually looking to make the correct decision to put Aston Villa, the team, in a better scenario and not just try and benefit himself. And that was really promising because that shows growth and that shows maybe long term that he is willing to make the better decisions and be more of a team player because the quality's there and the strength's there as well. Like he really enjoys getting into a duel and holding off other players to win the ball high on the pitch. I thought he did well, man.
I thought he held
Duran
it
did
well. I thought he held the ball up well as well in those scenarios. He held the ball up well and he was laying the ball off. As you said, he was bringing other people into play as well, which in some cases you'd potentially not have done that at times. But yeah, he's getting more. His game's starting to get more well-rounded now, and bit by bit, slowly and surely. I mean, he's 20 years old still. He's still so young, and who has that sort of impact in the Premier League at that age? It's quite rare if you think about it, especially as a striker. It is rare. You have young strikers at other top clubs now. You know, say Hoyland, he scored a few goals. He's a year older, but Evan Ferguson this season's not really getting game time like he was last year, and he was talked up as being a massive, massive player and going for big money. Apart from that, at that age, John Duran's right in there in that category. So if he can come on the pitch and make an impact, whatever it be, an assist, get a goal, or just generally hold the ball and bring others into play, a few years development, man, he'll be right up there. He'll all be right up there for sure. And that's how I feel regarding John Duran.
I agree 100%, especially about the development, just being patient with him. And people are too quick to say, let's sell him. And it's always like, oh, we need a new signing. Just show some patience, man. We've got a really, really top talent here. And people have begged us to be like Brighton for ages. And this is an example where Johan Langer, before he left, signed this guy with the long-term vision of him being a striker and saving us money in the future, or if Watkins does eventually go. Just looking at Duran's stats, 45 minutes played, 17 touches. He only made 4 passes, but the stat that's standing out for me, he won 5 of 7 ground duels. So like you said, he was getting about it, man, and he was winning the duels and he was helping us get off the pitch. And that's what you need as a striker coming on. So yeah, proud of Duran. Very proud of that performance.
And Zaniolo, what were your thoughts on his performance?
Yeah, I thought Zaniolo's performance was similar to Duran in the sense like he was winning these duels as well. Let me just see what his duels.
He's travelling with the
Yeah,
ball.
so he won 3 out of 5 duels. He was carrying the ball. I think what happened with Zaniolo as well is his action in winning the ball and turning led to the goal, so it's standing out in people's minds as well. So like he's made a direct impact to a goal coming off the bench. So yeah, man, fair play to Zaniolo. I think he had a chance as well to score, which was unlucky. So yeah, man, the substitutions worked their magic. Therefore,
yeah, Zaniolo for me, I think what was good, yes, is decision making again. His decision making is getting better. You know, at the start of the loan, and he'd get into situation scenarios, he'd make the wrong decision a number of times, and that was what the massive frustration was at the time, was your decision making. You'd get into good areas and you'd even pass it the wrong time or shoot when you should have passed it. But yesterday he got the ball, won it back, and made the correct decision, played the pass, and yeah, which leads us on to the second goal. Again, Diaby getting the assist, but Konsa, England caps in the week, comes back and gets his first goal in a few seasons now, isn't it? Obviously, I don't think he's meant it, but he's put into an area where John Duran's waiting to tap it in anyway. And if he hadn't gone over the line, hit the post across the defender, it comes off Duran anyway. So yeah, the second goal is the critical goal, bro, and we get it through winning the ball back and pouncing on their mistake and us getting the ball back and developing an attack and getting a goal from it.
It reminded me of Drogba against Hull all them years back, where he's dinked it at the back post looking for someone and it's just gone in. And initially we thought Duran had kicked it in, but we looked at his celebrations and it was like, well, he's not really going that mental. So maybe it was either an own goal or Konsa's goal. And yeah, it was nice, man, because if you look at Konsa, that option isn't on if he doesn't sprint up and get on the overlap. He reminded me of like Ben White a bit for
Ben
Arsenal.
White, that's what I thought he looked like. That play, it did look like that, yeah.
He looked like
For
Ben
sure,
White,
yeah.
and yeah, it's nice to just score that goal and just finish the game off. But yeah, really, really, really nice goal. Diaby gets an assist. He'll probably be gassed at that assist because he probably wasn't expecting it. Where Konsa got the ball from. Yeah,
I don't
and
know
I
if you've
felt
seen the celebrations back. Duran was going, he's got jokes, Duran, man. He's a joker. He was going to Konsa, he was going, that's my goal. That's my goal.
Was it?
Have you seen that? And Konsa's
Nah, I
like,
ain't seen that,
nah.
but
Nah, in the
I could imagine
celebrations,
it.
yeah. Duran's a joker. He's a wind-up merchant, man.
Yeah,
Because
I think
obviously,
it was.
went off the defender, hit the post, and Duran's knocked it in. Like, it's hit Duran and got in. But I'm sure he knew that he'd gone over the line at the time, and he's going, yeah, it's my goal, my goal. Konsa's like, shut up. Shut up. Well, yeah, that shows, man. I think that Duran, man, is a big personality in the dressing room, and he is one of the youngest in that as well. So I think they really do take to him, and the older lot try and take him under their wing. I don't know how why they do that, but yeah, I think that's what I get from it when I look at the squad and the relationship between the players and Duran in particular. So yeah, bro, get the second, almost get the third through Zaniolo again. Yeah, good move. Zaniolo does well to get the ball from under his feet, left-footed shot, and Sarr gets down low and does well to keep it out. I mean, a bit more in the corner potentially. He gets it in, but yeah, he's done well to generate the power because it was kind of under his foot when he hit it, and he's kind of side-footed it and tried to place it under Jose Sarr, and he felt really comfortable at that point. I can't lie. I was at home and I felt comfortable. I've seen from some of the videos and the atmosphere seemed great after the second one in, and in the continuous singing and chants and stuff like that, and it felt comfortable in the stadium once the second had gone in. Is that how it was?
Yeah, honestly, the atmosphere, especially second half, was incredible because we were singing that song non-stop when Linesman's battery had run out. So we had a corner and we were singing non-stop, like we did not stop. And the best part was Douglas Luiz, like he was getting the crowd going, he was clapping with us and everything, man. Yeah, that was fun. That was a real nice moment to just enjoy the season. 2-0 up, the game felt won. Wolves felt like they'd given up already. Yeah, man, I really enjoyed that moment. Definitely, that was my favorite part of yesterday.
Yeah, sick. That's sick, and it's nice to have a game like that against the team closest to us, as in local. I don't really class it as a derby as such, but it is because they're the closest team to us.
Best of a bad bunch.
Exactly, that's how I see it. So yeah, nice to get one over them and be comfortable in the last 20 minutes and come back from the international break and have a comfy one. They had the one chance towards the end, the Matt Doherty header, which went over the bar, but that was it really. Yeah, just a nice performance and result in the end, especially that second half because they get one back and it's a different ball game, but to just get the second, kill the game off. Yeah, I was happy with that for sure. We'll get into a few comments again. Kevin says, Duran and Zaniolo physically made a difference. The Chaos Twins facts. I've seen that being put around Twitter. Facts, they are the Chaos Twins. Yeah, Rachel said, love that, the Chaos Twins. They are, man. Duran reminds me of Darwin Núñez so much. I think he could develop into a better player. Give it a few years. He's about 4 years younger than him. But yeah, Marcus says you have to give Emery full credit for how he's dealing with the injuries this season. Yes, there's been some mistakes, but he's shown how good of a manager. Yeah, he's top quality. And the one thing we'll get on to is the no excuse policy he has regarding the injuries. He doesn't bring them up, win, lose or draw. Rachel says absolutely no excuse. He's just always trying to be better. Facts. I agree with that. Gary H is joined. Thanks for joining. He goes, hi guys, needed that win. That game was a free hit on Wednesday for me. Yeah, I kind of go into it thinking can we just get something? Can we just get something? City are going to be right up for it now after the result today. But can we just get something from that game? Deontay says, after watching Man City's performance against Arsenal, we'll have a decent chance to get a result on Wednesday. Yeah, it'd be interesting how we do approach this one. It felt like Arsenal today were doing a bit of Unai 226, 6-2-2, should I say? I've seen Bukayo Saka and who was playing off the right side. It was Havertz. Who was playing off the left today, bro, in that game?
Jesus,
yeah. I've seen them both dropping into the back four at times. But when we played them at home, we didn't play that way at all. We actually took the game to them. So it'd be interesting to see how we actually go for it this game. Rachel says we have to be defensively solid and clinical. Facts. Kevin says nothing to lose on Wednesday. I have a right go. Injuries and defence is crippling them. You never know. Again, yeah. I don't know if John Stones will be available. He was in the squad today, but I don't know if he will be available for that one. Nathan Ake went off today as well, so Rico Lewis came into the team. Well, Rico Lewis played quite well, actually. Rachel says that as Man City will want to win and score plenty, yeah, facts after today's result. Deontay says Villa will have a major say as to who will win the Premier League this season. Villa have a say themselves winning the Premier League this season, Deontay. But yeah, facts. I agree with that. I think it is so interesting now that Liverpool, City and Arsenal play Spurs, United and Villa. I think United have already played Liverpool, but I don't know, United have already played City and they play Liverpool coming up, but they play the other two as well. And us and Spurs play the three as well. So yeah, it's going to be such a tense and tight end to the season, and a lot of drama for sure. Paul says, hi, Penno and Adam. We are getting to the business end now. But how the tricky teams, Man City, Brentford, come on. Yeah, we have got a few tricky games. We saw Brentford last night, absolutely battered Man United, and was so unfortunate to only come away with a point. It was nearly a travesty that they got beat. But yeah, Brian and Bremu being back for them as well now. There'll be a different outfit, I think, in the last few games. And obviously, towards this time of the year, when teams are fighting at the bottom, they start to get certain performances and results and pick up points. So that'll be a tough game at home for sure. Paul says, I hope Watkins is okay for Wednesday. Facts. AVFC lately says that remind me of Ming's clearance. What's with our CBs and Wolves? I'm not sure what part of the game he's talking about there, but did you see Mings and McGinn on the big screen at the game?
Yeah, I think he's on about Pau Torres. He's on about Pau Torres.
The one you were discussing that hit the player in the first half.
About that. Yeah. He cleared it. He did some foolishness clearance, and then I think Neto hit the bar, or Martinez saved it at the Molineux. I think he might be on about that one anyway. But yeah, man, Ming's song got sang around the stadium as soon as they got shown.
Yeah. There was Juan Pablo as well. Juan Pablo was loving it on the screen. With the singing, there's only one Juan Pablo Angel in the whole and that.
That's probably why Duran came on at half time. Just make his
facts. Juan Pablo was like, I want to see my Colombian brother, man, get on the pitch and get some minutes. He played like Angel was watching him for sure. The second half, he had a great game. Marcus says Doctor's made the right call with Watkins. Yeah, we've seen it again. We saw it against Ajax as well. He played on for a bit, and we were just like, no, take him off. There's more games this season, and he is vital to how we play and his contributions. So yeah, I think it was the same kind of thinking behind it. And I think Duran now is more than capable to step up. Michael says, Duran, our wild boy. Michael also says, we don't get that second goal without the sliding tackle from Duran. Facts. Stephen Bell's joined us. Thanks for joining us, Stephen. He says, one without really performing at our best. Duran really puts himself about, and Zaniolo changed the match. Big, strong guy and a lot better on the ball. Great to have players like these off the bench. Yeah, impact. The substitution making positive impacts is crucial, and both of those did yesterday for sure. Gary Haight says the young Wolves lad up front struggled badly, and only 2 years difference with Duran. I think, yeah, he did. Yeah, he did look out of his depth really, but obviously it's his first competitive game. It's going to be tough. Marcus says Duran numbers are good. They are indeed. Gary Haight said Zaniolo and Duran are like Stallone and Arnie, but on the football pitch. Kevin said should start Zaniolo at City. Gary Haight said, wonder what watch Amusa buys him. Yeah, did you hear that?
What was that?
About Diaby said he'd buy Konsa a watch because he bagged.
Is that what he said?
Yeah, he said it in the interview on Match of the Day last night. He's got asked Konsa what watch he wants. Yeah. I think he must have had a bet with him. If he scores this season, he'll get him a watch.
That's crazy.
Jokers. Stephen Bell says Rodgers has had his best game for us so far. Nowhere near the finished article, but there's massive potential there. Zaniolo, Rodgers, and Duran add some size and relatively small side. That is a big one. Again, watching the City Arsenal game today, they have a number of players who are units. Like they're both playing 4 centre backs as well. The sitters, the DMs, and then even other players as well. They had some sizes in the team, and sometimes we lack that. Zaniolo, Rodgers, and Duran are a presence for sure, especially attacking and defending set pieces as well. Great point. Gary Haight says Dibu saved us another 3 points with that save yesterday. Massive save. And you have a world-class keeper when in moments they don't have a lot to do, but in that crucial moment they make the big save. A number of teams throughout the years have had the goalkeeper that has nothing to do for the entire game except for one massive save, and Emmy stepped up again, man. Gary Haight said Rodgers was unbelievable. He was running with the ball yesterday, better than Ramsey for me. I don't know about that just yet, but stylistically, they are similar.
Rodgers isn't better than Ramsey. I think people are forgetting, just to go on again. Like Ramsey's broke his foot twice. Like let's see next season, innit? Like let's give him a preseason and let's see what's going on. What's going on there? But I am impressed with Rodgers. But I think we gotta be a bit more respectful with Ramsey as well.
Deontay says everyone be sure. Yeah, facts, his opinions, ain't it, bro? Deontay says everyone be sure to like and sub to the pod. Thanks, Deontay. Paul said Duran is going to be world class. There's a player there, man. There is a player there, and he's so young as well. Charlie, thanks for joining. Charlie says, feel as though the Chelsea United and West Ham Spurs games are more important than our own in midweek. We'd like to see us have a 90-minute performance regardless of the result. I do hear that for sure. Charlie also says team comes into the midfield perhaps for Rodgers. Thoughts on that?
Who's that for? Man City?
Mm.
So what is he saying? We're going to change formation probably and just play?
I don't know. I don't know. Charlie, let us know. Do you reckon you've changed the shape, or
I think that's what he's suggesting? Because obviously Rodgers defensively is not the best, is he, at the moment?
But I don't know if he means team playing off the left, or
I think he means it.
Yeah, Charlie, let us know what you think formation regarding that. Alan says Champions League incoming for real. Thanks for joining, Alan. Paul says, Sean Teal, Daniel Atkinson brother, Neil Cotts, Ian Taylor. Did you see? I think they were all at the game, weren't they? For sure. Michael says Arsenal setup at City was very much like Villa from last season. And Michael says Ramsey's class. Yeah, I agree with that, Michael. Ramsey's class. And especially towards the end of last season, he was one of our best players and was crucial in us getting Europe. Paul says, guys, West Ham versus Tottenham Tuesday. Hoping West Ham win. Facts after their result yesterday. Hopefully they're looking to take it out on Spurs, because that attack is devastating at times for West Ham. Alan says a nice 3-2 win for Villa, Watkins double, and then Diaby last minute winner. Let's hope so. Against Man City. Yeah, hope so, Alan, man. And Charlie says, Tillerman's in a more advanced role similar to early in the season probably, but a few questions about how we set up given recent performances. Yeah, I think Charlie's saying that Tillerman's probably more advanced, maybe operating off that left side as well, and Tim coming into the side for Rodgers. Yeah, it'd be interesting to see how we do line up, or if we just stick. Obviously, it's one more game now with no McGinn, so you think we set up the same, bro?
I think Charlie's raised a good point. I think Rodgers defensively might be a concern. I think Luka Dean will come in for Moreno 100%, especially if Doku plays off the right like he did when he come on in the second half. I think Man City's a game we're not really going there expecting a result. I think you always, of course, got to have the mentality as players. But if we lose that game, it won't be like a massive shock. But I want to see us be compact. And when we're on the break, I want to see us try and show good decision
Be
making
devastating.
because we're going to get chances. I was watching the Arsenal game today, and I actually think we've got more outlets than Arsenal had
Yeah.
because of Martinelli's injury. Like Diaby and Bailey, like if you bang the ball up front to them, even Watkins, bro, if you bang the ball up front and just go for that long pass, hopefully catch them out of shape. And it's about taking your chance because you're only going to get like 3 or 4, really.
Mm.
And can we score off those moments? That's what the game's going to be of Wednesday because we're not going to go there and dominate the ball or play our style on implement our style on Man City. Like they'll have, I'd say about 60-70% of the ball. So it's going to be a transition game.
Mm.
And I've seen people say rest Watkins. I don't agree. I think you play your strongest side. I'd like to see Watkins start if he's fit and available to play because we're going to need him. We're going to need him. I think as good as Duran has been yesterday, there's still a bit of immaturity to his game in terms of the hold up, especially away at Man City. You need to be patient, and I feel like he could lose his head a bit quicker than Watkins would. So yeah, I'd like to see Watkins start.
Yeah, definitely. If Watkins is fit and available, Watkins is in for me as well. Yeah, it's going to be interesting. Obviously, Rodri didn't play at Villa Park, which was a huge miss. So then, no Kevin
Yeah,
De Bruyne as well. So that did have an impact on the way the game developed. But within that game, we did match them for possession. We outplayed them. We kind of dominated the game. It's not going to be the same game at the Etihad for me anyway. I don't think so. And if it
is
isn't,
Rodri?
if it
Is
is,
Rodri
if
gonna?
it is, Unai Emery's an absolute. He's already a genius, but he's the other next level if we manage to do the same performance at the Etihad. But I don't think it's going to be that way. So yeah, it will be interesting to see if we do adopt a more defensive approach. But then will that be our undoing?
I don't think we got a
It is.
choice. I think,
It's,
like you
it's,
said,
it's tough.
Even Arsenal plays 6-2-2 today. Like I think you just have to accept it. Like City are that good. You have to accept your fate going there, and you have to play to their rules. And you just got to hope on transition because there will be moments. We will get moments, and hopefully we can take the lead and just kill them on the break. But yeah, man, snatch your hand for a draw already.
Oh, facts. Charlie says Tillerman's in a more advanced role. Oh no, you said that one. Charlie also said it's a bit stick or twist, but I think we'll get picked off with Rogers' positional problems against a better quality opposition. Yeah, I do agree with that because it happened at times yesterday, especially in that first 15, 20 minutes. Charlie also says equally feel Rogers carrying could be a route into a transition threat. It is, as he said, stick or twist because there's obviously positive and negatives with playing Rogers in that position. Obviously, with Luca Digne, I think we've seen now with Luca Digne playing there with Rogers there, it's a bit more secure on that side instead of when it's Moreno defensively anyway. So yeah, it will be interesting to see how Unai lines up, man. It's just another game for Unai, and as he said, he'll have a plan for it. He will have a plan for it, and we'll see how he sets up. Kevin said, "Big ass can't see it, but put Iriboonen in, tell him to follow Rodri everywhere, put his foot in, and disrupt their rhythm." I do like that tactic. The man marking tactic is not. It's not as well. It's not as used in today's game as it once was. Stay on the one player, but Rodri is just integral to how City plays, isn't he? You saw again today. The ball just goes through Rodri, and if we could maybe drop, say, one of the advanced tens or Tillemans if he's playing off the second striker against City, and we compact more midfielders into the team and drop a Diaby or a Bailey, and just tell him to just sit on Rodri in that position, we could get some joy potentially. But it's tough. He is tough because he's just so good. I don't know your thoughts on that, bro.
No, I agree. I agree.
Rachel says performances don't really matter to me at this stage. I think the results and points matter most. I do hear that. To be honest, there's what 8 games to go now. I think if we win 4, we get Champions League. That's how I see it anyway. I don't know if you agree with that. I think 4 wins
Four.
and yeah, I
Yeah.
think 4 will do it. Yeah. But Deontay says, very rarely do managers do the double over Guardiola in the same season. Fact. But then Unai was the manager who reduced Pep to the lowest shots of any game Pep's managed in Europe, and the highest number of shots conceded of any game Pep's managed. So he's already broken a massive record against him this season, but it's going to be a tough game for sure. Richard Edwards joined us. He says, yes, lads. Thanks for joining, Rich. He said, awesome result yesterday. Clean sheet debut was great. Agree. And Richard also said, like we did to Newcastle with McGinn. Yeah, for sure, bro. So, yeah, great result yesterday. Great 3 points. Much needed. Just nice to come back from the international break and just start with a great performance and just getting the 3 points, which was the most important thing. And after Spurs' result yesterday, just climbing back above them and then seeing United in the evening, watching that comfortably and seeing them drop points was a huge positive. Thanks for joining me, bro, again, or thanks for joining. It's been a great podcast, and we'll see if we get around to doing a City preview. If not, we'll definitely have a City reaction. Again, if you could like the stream, my bro's dropped out. He's done for. But yeah, if you could like the stream, subscribe if you're new around here as well, and drop your comments in the video as well after. Let us know your thoughts on the performance. Who was your man of the match as well? For me, I think Yuri was my man of the match. I thought he was really good on the ball yesterday. But yeah, let us know your thoughts and who was man of the match in the game as well. Thanks for joining, guys, once again. And we'll be back soon up the Villa. And let's go on to the Etihad and see what we can do against Manchester City.